Okie dokie, folks. Let's go ahead and, I don't know, start doing something. I don't know what the plan is. So, I don't know. I was thinking we would just do. Um, how about we play ray trace Minecraft. Look how pretty that is. I know you guys aren't on the RTX level, but it's beautiful. Look at those rays. They're traced. So pretty. Alright. Let me turn Mr. DeRusi on in the volume sort of way. And we could probably mute the Minecraft background. And how many people do we have watching? One concurrent. Oh, I'm dying. Hold on. What happened to pause? Meaning pause. Come on, Minecraft. That's not cool. Oh, it's dragging.
Yeah,
I
I think
can't. I can't capture and. Uh,
too many broadcasts that are happening.
yeah. Yeah. Let's just get rid of that for now. Let's see. Are we back? Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Definitely too many things happening, but some of you got some good still shots of that slideshow of ray trace Minecraft. Let's I guess we'll answer questions of people that are in chat because they're here. No, I would say. Where are we? Can chat, and we can turn this up a little bit just for peaceful background. There we go. All right. No, do not rickroll unless it's part of your program, in which case I'm sure they've seen it before, but creative. Yes, probably a bad idea. What exactly does it mean when it says I use an algorithm to other algorithms with it? Nobody knows. I mean, you can follow the directions exactly, and I would say if I was doing this for my own, I would overdo it and just like throw as many blue and orange blocks in the program as possible and work with that. But I guess it's sort of like an if statement or an if else statement that then in each of those if else statements has some sort of logical or mathematical concept. I mean, I could definitely show you something that is a algorithm that uses two other algorithms. The question is, when is it not? Like, what is the cutoff for not an algorithm? What is the cutoff for not a sub algorithm? Like, is another if else statement, or do you have to call a function that goes to another complex situation? I don't know. We've done several examples of what is an example, so work backwards from that. Hey, Mr. DeRusi, can you remind me of the link for screen recording? There you go. Is it okay if I turn my Explore test today, but turn my create? Haley Gabriel, you're talking about for AP or for classwork? Because today is the due date. Well, Haley Gabriel, are you in my class or Mr. DeRusi's class? I can't remember if you were in that whole like first 2 weeks of third quarter is kind of a blur. I know you're in my class first semester because I know who you are. Anyway, how would I know? Is he in? Is he in
Yeah,
your class?
your class, pretty sure.
Okay.
If that's their last name.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, sorry, I know who you are, but there's a lot of kids who are in my first semester class who I know very well, and then are not in second semester or Mr. Rusi's class now, and I can't remember who switched. So Yes, because um, if you submit, so today is the due date, which means for full credit. We'll figure out a deadline upcoming, either next week or later, because we'd rather have you get all the points than cut it off too soon. And again, right now we're talking just for credit, fourth quarter grade class. For AP stuff, deadline is Monday. Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday? Is Monday a thing? Tuesday. Tuesday at midnight. Okay, so that's for College Board. For everybody, for grades, for the quarter, today is the due date for full credit. There will be 10% off, but the thing is, the truth is that isn't really going to affect one's grade because of the pass-fail situation for fourth quarter. And as long as you pass fourth quarter, I don't know. I'm guessing they published the grading system, the new grading policy somewhere. But it is very student favorable. I believe it is very generous, considering what is normally expected or what you should expect as far as expectations for rigorous grading. I do not consider the current situation a rigorous setup, which I don't know. I shouldn't hold that against you guys to be relatively lucky as far as grading goes. I know several of you are having whatever the opposite of a pleasant quarantine, so it's all take the good with the bad. Okay, so my class. So if I have an event handler, then it works. Then Rickroll is necessary. I don't know if a Rickroll is ever necessary, but if it's part of the program, it's part of the program. You know. Check in. Yeah. Okay, that sounds like a Mr. DeRusi question. Let's take a look at some other questions through the form. This looks like a debugging thing. Wait, did I write that? I'm trying to make a text box. Did I answer that last time? Oh yeah, we looked at that last time. That was a movie thing. User put in defense tail, kind of bait. Okay, yeah, I've been working with the fish one, which is we did actually several of you received multiple emails yesterday, which I'm sure you were surprised to receive such quick responses, but trying to help. Um, um, I'm just getting distracted by chat. Uh, Mary, you saw on College Board that the deadline was today. Um, I I will talk about your question in a second. We need to, well, Mr. DeRusi, have you heard anything besides Tuesday being the deadline?
No, I have not. I can
Okay.
go double check it as well, unless that's what you can go ahead and I guess if that's what you're doing.
Uh, I mean, I'm almost too scared to to double check
I
because
doubt
yeah. Uh,
AP College Board Computer Science Principles.
I'll okay, so um are you talking about for submitting for the class or submitting for, well, it shouldn't matter actually because what you are submitting is three, well, for the create test, three separate documents. The Where are my documents? Does it always go to that one? Just a second. I think this is all good. Okay, so you have a written response that has the relevant pieces of code copied and pasted into it, which is different than the code print, which is your entire code that has the oval and rectangle or ovals and rectangles around it. You're submitting both. One is written response and one is code print. They both are going to be PDFs, or they each are going to be a separate PDF for the College Board. For class, you may use a Google Doc for the written response thing. How? Oh, the colors are all blown out. You may use the Google Doc as your written response portion, but you may also print this as a PDF and attach it that way for the assignment, which, again, the only way to turn it in is through your original Google Classroom. For whichever period, you will see the Explore task, 2 documents, and the Create task, 3 documents, which I don't feel bad about going to. This is where you will, well, yours looks very different, but does it say it in the...
So I went and double checked. Yeah, the deadline for submission for Create and Explore performance tasks is May 26th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So you have till the 26th to turn in your Create and Explore task in the AP College Board portal thing, whatever it's called for you guys.
digital portfolio?
Like, yeah. So you don't have to turn it in until May 26th. We're going to go over turning it in today because, we want to factor in enough time to make sure you're turning things in correctly and in the right format. So that's why we're making ours due today, so you can turn it into us and we can check to make sure you turned it in correctly. That's what we're doing this for.
Yes. Yeah, if you hand it in today, we can, yeah, we'll go through. When will we go through? I don't know. It's all sort of a favor that we don't really need to, um, like, do a double check. Happy to do it, but as far as expecting us, if you hand in all of your projects today at 11:30 tonight, don't expect us to check them and get back to you before the deadline for College Board. Although we may stream on Tuesday. I don't know. We may just have office hours on Tuesday, whatever that means. I don't know. We'll figure stuff out. Let's answer. So why do not put the oval and rectangles in the written? You can, like, it's Isla, for your question. The question about the written response putting the oval, you can, it's what is in the oval or ovals, that's what you would put in your written response. Copy and paste that code. You can, like, do a screenshot and crop the picture if you want. I've seen kids do that before, where they put the actual screenshot from CodePrint, but sometimes the, like, part of the algorithm is not right next to the other part of the algorithm, and that's why you'd have multiple ovals on your CodePrint. But as far as the written response, they won't, you put that. I don't know how else to explain that. Yeah, snipping is snipping the same as cropping? I don't really know all these computer terms.
The snipping tool is just like a screen grab. It just puts a picture in instead of the text version. I think that's fine. I don't think they said that you can't just put a picture in for your selected algorithm. I can
Is
double check it.
is snipping a PDF thing, or is it a Windows
No,
thing?
you just type in snipping tool in the Windows bar and you get it. It's like it's a drag and drop. Like you cut out a picture of your screen.
Oh, yeah, that would work too. I learn something new every day.
To be clear, do we only turn it into you, or do we turn it into both you and College Board? You.
Are you taking the AP test? If you're taking the AP test, you need to submit it to your College Board account. Okay? If you're not taking the AP test, you don't have a College Board to submit. That's fine. You need to turn it in both places. One is for AP credit, the other is for class credit.
I feel like we need one of those. What are those charts called where you follow the bubbles with arrows?
Flow
Like,
charts?
yeah, it's like, are you taking the AP? Yes. No. Turn into classroom. Turn into AP. Like,
Hmm.
we could
Let's,
make one of those today on stream. That would be.
I'll do that right now. Let's go. My stupid Google Drive always defaults to my
So if you're taking the
personal.
AP, while Mr. Halt's doing that, while you're taking the AP, if you were taking the AP exam, you need to turn it into College Board. Yes. You also need to turn it into us on Google Classroom. Yes. The reason we're having you turn it in on Google Classroom today is so that we can check your formatting to make sure that you're turning in the proper document types to AP. So if you want to turn it into AP today, you are more than welcome to do that. Um, we're not going to be able to check it for correctness if you do that. If you want to wait till like the 26th to turn it in, I don't recommend waiting till like midnight on the 26th because their servers are probably going to be full, and it's going to be slow. Yeah, I would. If you want to make sure that you're turning in the right things, you can wait for our response. That is up to you. So I hope that answers your question.
I don't want to add text to. How about I? Can you, Mr. Dursey, can you get into this document also? It's in the co-video thing.
Which
Um,
one's it under create task?
no, just in our shared folder that isn't fully shared. Um,
Yeah, that's it. What are we doing?
um, let's see. Maybe you can add the texts. Just focus on working on text things, and I'll do
Well,
shapes.
there are free flowchart editors online.
Yeah, but here we are, man.
Jonathan 15, what we turn in today will be graded, right? Yes.
Yes,
What you're turning in today is part of your marking period 4 grade.
it is
That is
the
correct.
the largest part of your marking period 4 grade. How about around it a little? Mr. Ducey, are you gonna add some text to this?
I'm on this like free
Here we are, man. Look, just.
Lucidchart. This thing, I don't know, man. This thing's pretty awesome looking.
Oh, I didn't. Let's go to this. Let me see what's on your screen. Doop a doop a doop.
Well, I'm not sharing my screen to you right now. Sorry.
What? Go back to this, and so this one should be yes and no, and then well, I'll do my own, and then we'll vote um, on whose is better.
I mean, since you're broadcasting, do you actually want to
I'm not going to
go
show your
over?
screen, but I want to see your.
No, I'm just saying, I can make the little flowchart if you want to actually go over like converting things to PDFs on Google Classroom, and then the code snip. What's it called? Code something?
Code print?
Code print. I think we've gone over it before, but it could be useful today because some people are saying they're worried.
Okay, so I don't know if this explains it the most, but let's get another shape here. Okay, up here would be, are you taking the test? If yes, submit to College Board and submit to the class. If no, submit to the class. Okay, I don't know if that helps things. We'll come back to that. Okay, let's go over, well, let me, how do we cite the code for reference online source? Recording the game, the best way is probably with just a cell phone. I can't explain an easier way that fulfills all the needs. The citing situation should be somewhere in the instructions. Let's see if we can find it real quick. I mean, there's so many explanations in this playlist from the College Board that I'd be surprised if it wasn't in there. Let's see. Well, let's go explore task because I don't think create task has as many requirements for citations. What is going on here? Let's why is it not typing? What am I doing wrong? I have a button broken? Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's right. In-text citation, meaning you can do it a couple different ways. Yeah, so you need in-text citations, which means that so you have your like work cited at the bottom, but the in the actual text you have um, either the name that it's referring to or like the number. So this right here is the citations from this example, which this example is a graded example where it explains why the person got grades or whatever grade they got. Like the first cited source has a bracketed 1. In your text, you can put a bracketed 1 right next to the information you got from that source. That is in-text citation. Let's see if we can find... Yeah, okay, this person did the name of the author of the cited source. You can see here they have cited source listed with each have a bracketed number, but they also have the author's last name. And if used, you could do it either way, but I would be consistent. I would pick one of the ways. So here they use the author's name. They could have also put that bracketed, I don't know, what is it, Rosick, the third one? Put a bracketed 3 there to show that it's from that source. Okay, so that's citing in text. I don't know if there's any citation expectations from the create task. Wait, is this the whole thing? I think this might be the same document. Citation. What is going on? Why is my computer all funky? That's spelled right, right? this the explanation just for... Oh, so if you used some other code, somebody else's code, you need to cite it. And for a portion of the code, I would recommend not using any other code. So that's the citation explanation. Let's go back to questions. And let's say... in-text citations for Explorer task. Okie dokie, who's here with us? Sweet. Good for you. Okay, fish thing. Not going over 45, more debugging. Time limit. Not sure what that is. Okay, that's a question about that. All right, so just up top, we'll answer questions that have to do with like submitting and formats and stuff like that, and then we'll get into individuals debugging questions. And so let me get a big chunk of code that we can use as our example. And okay, so at this point you're done with your app. It works awesome, everything is beautiful, and you are you can do your video recording before or after you do this, but you need to do this. You should probably just go ahead and do this first. You're going to switch it to text view. You need to make sure that you have any make sure your code is ready to go, meaning your name isn't anywhere in that. Your name can't be on any document, on any title, on anywhere in the code, on the written response, your written response file name. Your name needs to be scrubbed completely. All right, so you switch it to text. Do Control A to select all, Control C copies, and then you go back to CodePrint, which you can find from the new classroom here. It says link, Baker Frankie. I can't really change how this shows up on the classroom, but you go here, and you over here, you delete everything, and you do Control V, paste your entire code here. Okay, this is the entire code from that app. Go and give it a title of whatever it is. Don't put your name in it. And then we need to put rectangle around our abstraction and oval around our algorithm. I can't remember which is which, or I can't remember which I used in my project or in this app. Let's say this looks pretty abstract or pretty algorithmy. I think I have a better algorithm. Oh yeah, this is good algorithm with a return function. Where did I use that return function? That is a yummy return function. Apply distances. God, there are so many. This is a good. Where do I use find midpoint? Okay, I was too in the weeds here. Okay, so I'm going to use check club change, and that uses check radio button and check radio button uses two sub algorithms, and ifs for the lie, like sand, fairway, and one for the rough. Okay, and they're next to each other, which is perfect. So I'm going to find check club change function. Wait, do I have the oval? We're going to use oval because oval is algorithm, your math and logic. Check club change, and I could do check rate. Both of these are my algorithm, and that does, I guess that counts as an oval. I think they will be very familiar with this CodePrint app that everyone from code.org is using. So they will know the difference between this technically an oval and this is the rectangle. Okay, but before I do the rectangle, since I'm using this as my algorithm, I'm going to go back here and copy that same portion, which is just to here, Control C, and I'm going to go to my written response, which doesn't have my name in it, and it also has gotten rid of the word template in the title, because remember, as soon as you type on it, it's no longer a template, it is your response. Okay, so in 2C is where you do the algorithm. In this part that says code segment, this is where I'm going to copy the portion that I'm using for my oval. I wonder, I don't think you can copy and paste it from here. You could grab it from up here, but it's probably easiest just to grab it from AppLab. So this is what I'm counting as my algorithm. I'm going to go to the code segment for 2C and copy and paste that into there. It is the same section of code that I have ovaled. Then for abstraction, let's figure out what we're going to call our abstraction. What is something that simplifies things? Abstraction, parameters make good abstractions. Distance, find midpoints, clear and reset. Set text. Okay, this is a good abstraction, but they don't want an event handler to be an abstraction. I haven't heard something to the contrary about using. This is probably a better algorithm, but whatever. Let's call this my abstraction. I don't think I think what I selected first was a better example for abstraction. I haven't heard anything to the contrary, but I would tend away from using the same portion of code as your example of algorithm and example of abstraction. But yeah, there, I don't know. It might be somewhere in the. I don't think it says anything against it, but like I said, I would tend against it. Tend to lean against it. It does need to be student developed, meaning it can't just be all, like this is not an example of a student developed abstraction. All the yellow blocks are what's called library calls. These are tools that AppLab provides you with. So none of this is student developed or teacher developed. This is all, original variables, whatever. So I'm going to call this my abstraction. So I need to make sure I'm on rectangle. I'm going to go down and find it. I think it's the last function, sure. And I'll put my rectangle around that. And I'm going to copy that section of code and put it into my written response. So do Control C and go to my written response for part D. Oh yeah, it does look like I used that before. So maybe my abstraction used another portion also, but whatever. Whatever I rectangle, I'm going to put into the code segment of the written response. And then I'm going to have my written response here, talking about this code segment. Same thing here for part 2C, my written response, which goes here. Be nice if we could zoom out a little bit. View. Yeah. So part 2C, code segment and written response. The written response, the answer to this prompt is about the code that you're using, and it goes here. All right. When you are done with all of your written responses, and when you're done with your written response, you're going to go print and save as a PDF. well, first of all, this is bad because I didn't get rid of template. Clean stuff up. Um, I get rid of that. I would get rid of this link. Um, I would probably get rid of this also. Okay. You probably don't even need the prompts in there, but why not? I would, and this is just a me thing that I'm sure many of you are familiar. I'm a huge fan of formatting. I would clean stuff up so that prompts don't overlap pages, but that's just a thing that I respect my work and put time and effort into it. And then maybe start on a new page. I don't, that might be too much if you spread stuff out too much. I don't know. And I would definitely put that on a second page. So when you're happy with it, clap your hands and go to print, save as a PDF, save it to your computer, downloads, or you can save to Google Drive, which when you save this to Google Drive, it should still become a PDF. Yeah. And then for your code print, you go up here and you go print and you save that as a PDF or save to Google Drive. And so they both will be in PDF format, whether they're in your downloads folder on your computer, your PC or Mac, or the Google Drive folder that you decide after you hit save. You're saving it as a PDF or printing as a PDF. And then you are going to submit all of those things. I guess I can, yeah, I'll leave that like that. Submit, go to your original Google Classroom, go to the assignment for create task, and your thing looks completely different. But I don't know how to show you what, but wherever you add documents, you're going to add 3 documents. The video file of the video that you've created, the PDF of the written response that we just created, and the PDF of the code print that we just created. Okay, 3 documents. One's a video,
Here,
2
Mr.
PDF.
Mr. Halt, let me jump in real quick.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to my Google Classroom right now.
Okay,
And
how are you going to, which of the 17 different methods of communication are you going to use?
go ahead on Discord DM. I'll send you my class code.
AP
I sent,
Lucid chart?
well, that's the flowchart for.
Do you want me
For
to open
class.
that? Is that
I mean,
done?
you can if you want to look at it and let me know. But since you're doing that, let's not get sidetracked.
Okay. Oh, wow,
The
that's pretty.
PLZ PMTN is my class code. That way you can see what kids see and you'll be able to,
Okay. Oh, yeah, good call. Let's go
turn in
here. Is it in there? Did you send me?
the code. I just sent you the
Oh,
templates.
it's at the bottom there. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was just
Elizabeth
garbage.
Minton.
Let us join a class.
And you should be set up. You'll have the top 2 assignments will be the exact things.
Okay.
There you go.
So for the create task, you are going to add or create. For the PDFs, you're going to go to link a file or attach a file, and same thing for the video. I'm not sure what's going to come up. I don't want my personal stuff to pop up. File, and yeah, so this will come up. Select files from your device or from your My Drive, and you're going to do that for all 3 things. So you'll have 3 documents submitted. You will not use the link. Do not use the share link ever for anything ever. that involves me. There is a place for that in the world, obviously, it's an option, but do not use it for submitting documents or submitting assignments. And if you are taking the AP test, you already have PDF stuff because it's difficult to herd cats into following directions or breaking habits. We will accept the written responses as Google Drive documents, Google Docs. But if you're taking the AP tests, they have to be in PDF anyway. But this is where you're going to add all three of your assignments, all three of your documents for the create task, and then for the explore task, this is where you're going to add both of the documents for the explore task. So you'll have two different documents here, your written response and your computational artifact. This should say 80 points. It says 100 on mine also, but they're both out of 80 points as of now, unless things change. So there is that. So let's take a look at the flow chart. Okay, are you taking the AP test? Yes. Turn in the Explore Test Google Classroom. Turn in or create and test College Board by Wednesday. Good. If you are not taking the AP test, turn in blah, 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 blah. Turn in College Board. What gets turned in? This is beautiful. This is just another way of explaining. Mr. DeRusi, can you create a PDF of this? Ooh, hi. Create a PDF of this.
Yeah, I'll just put a link up in Classroom, I guess. Or do you
Okay.
want it as a PDF?
I mean, I love the professional document format. It's pretty professional and formatted.
PDF coming in.
So there's that. That's how you submit. I don't think we have any other submission questions or formatting questions. Let's get into some of this awesome debugging. Okay, fish bait question. Could you still help? We talked about this one last time. The decide on a target thing has to do with like it sets up a imaginary grid called with a row and whatever. But if you don't understand that, don't use that. I don't. I mean, you can email me today, I guess, take a look at it, or you're gonna have to dig and learn and use the resources provided to learn how to do things. Like I I know there's a lot of sort of common expectation that assignments are going to be, or schoolwork is only going to be ask you to do things that you know how to do already. But this is a skill that if you haven't learned already, you kind of need to learn. It's sort of the point. If you have specific questions, I may or may not be able to answer, but the debugging question, like there are so many discussions about features and what you actually want to do with that project. Okay, what's going on with row 45? Let's take a look here. Feed the monster. Okay, run. Line 30. If, wow. Okay. Oh no. 30, 32. What is the 32nd? Get position, Y, donuts, I. Wow, this looks like a return function. Yeah, return functions are awesome until they don't work. Why is this? Okay, on event goes to there. You have an extra. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's that problem. That shouldn't be there. Oh, I need to remix. Okay, the problem with this one is you have an extra open close. That's a gimme. And let's see, well, let me go back. No, still too broken. Function, donut fall. This one, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you put your cursor next to a open close bracket, or anything, parentheses, whatever, it will show you its corresponding bracket or parentheses or square bracket, curly bracket. So this one corresponds with this one. This one corresponds with this one. We want them to be increasingly to go back and forth. So it doesn't, this one looks like an extra, oh no, it's not. So that goes there. So this one goes all the way 4. Okay. This one goes to there. This one goes to there. This one goes to there. So you wouldn't want anything in between. Now what about if get position, this closes that. What happens if, let's copy this and then comment it and put it up here so we can play around with it. What if we get rid of, okay, so if goes to that. What if we get rid of that? It's probably not going to let me go back. What if we get rid of, oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, this is it. Okay. This close right here, it should go to that one. So you have an extra curly or extra parentheses here. Yay, we're back. Okay. If get position, is get Y position supposed to be, oh no, get Y position is not a return function. It is a library call, which, sweet. All right, let's see what happens. Click to play here. Oh, is this a clicker game? So the idea of a clicker game is something that we did before. If it has like super different functionality, we can talk. But okay, let's see what's on line 15. Oops, we can't figure out what monster move is. Time loop. Monster move. Is monster move a function? I wonder if monster move is not capitalized. Wow, return functions. Monster move, function, monster move. Okay, so monster move is inside of a function called game over. I don't think it can be inside of a function and be called somewhere else. If you want monster move called inside of this big function called game over, well, first let's see if this works. Nope, now we got more problems. Line 95. My guess is you have some capitalization issues. Yeah, so sticking with constant formats like always starting with a lowercase is a good way to help debug. It does feel like a problem with, I think all these functions should be separate. I can't imagine a function inside. Yeah, you wouldn't have a function inside of a function. You would just call that code if you wanted it to occur inside of that function. So yeah, these should all be game over is caught add donuts monster move. And for no reason, let's clean it up. Wow, there's a lot of issues there. But it's moving. Jeez. Look at all this. Okay, okay, so it's having an issue every time. Why won't you stay up at the top? That's weird that the debug console looks like that. Okay, what is the first warning line 93? Does not exist. Warning line 94. Get Y position. Okay, so there's nothing called monster. Monster position. Get position of monster. What is the... Oh, because the idea is it is a capital M for monster. Oh wait, is it? Yeah, there's nothing lowercase monster. It is also not that. Get Y position of... I'm not checking chat. I need to be better about that. Okay. Okay, monster position, variable monster position is... Oh, here's another thing. Set position of monster to monster position -1. Hey, there we go. Things are happening. Okay, so what are you supposed to do? Okay, so there is a... What is the actual button? Start game function. Good, donuts fall, does a thing, game over, is caught, add donut. Alright, yeah, this is good stuff. This is definitely, if this works, it's definitely not a mouse down, console log event. This is definitely not a, there's more lowercase monster stuff here, which would be hard to search for. Let's go here. Do we have a find function? How many times does this show up? Yep, here's one. Yeah. This is also a reason to not type in the ID for thing and only use the drop down, because it will only give you options that exist. Yep, and here, monster, get property monster with, I don't know the point of that. Right. Game screen mounts, let's see, how many more are missing? Hey. Okay, on event, I'm not really sure what the game is, but that looks pretty debugged. Frames. Redefinition of frames. Do you have another frames? I'm guessing you did a var frames somewhere else. I've never seen it say redefinition, but either way, that looks like... Okay, start game, donuts fall, game over, is caught. Oh, there needs to be another event handler. Game screen, click X event. Yeah, that's a good cleanup. I think we went over that last time. Monster left edge. Get property of monster width. Oh, that's good. That is good. You could just set a variable that is like monster W at the top, and that would be hard-coded in, so you could change it somewhere else, but this could be changed in design mode. So there's that. Direction is right. Okay, so is this the time loop to have monster move in it? It doesn't look like you are have a ability to control the control the monster. And if click is greater than, I think you need to run monster move in here. Nah, maybe? Is that the name of the function? Monster move. It does seem to slow it down. I don't know. But other than that, that is debugged, and carry on with trying to figure out how to move the monster left and right. This is impressive enough that I'm confident that you can figure out how to get the monster to move left and right. I'm not sure if the points add up, but looks good so far. Carry on. Where are we? We are on minute. Holy moly, we're already an hour and 5. See, what is today? 5/22 stream. Min 1. It was probably 1 hour. 1 hour and 2 minutes into stream, give or take. Okay, let's call that one good to go. And I want to add a time limit to my code, but I'm not sure how to add it. I want the time limit to reset every time you choose the correct square. And if you do not choose the correct, you lose the game. No, there are timer aspects. Yes, it is possible to add a timer aspect to things. Let's see what happens. This looks a lot like the color click game. I would think strongly against submitting this as your own work, but for the sake of teaching you how to use timer aspects, I'm happy to do that. Again, we have a function inside. The definition of a function shouldn't go inside of a function ever. Although you're calling the function level 1, and it is level 1. Yeah, I don't know about this. Level 2. When do you call level 2? I don't want to say this is a bad way of doing this. Yeah, I think it's probably a bad way of doing it. Do you have lives? Sort of explain in the last explanation about why you don't. Functions are sort of like standalone function definitions, which is what this is. This is a function call. Line 60 is a function call. Function definitions are just sort of like the playbook. They sort of sit off to the side. You can put them all the way at the bottom. They stand alone. And then when you want them to happen, you call them. That is like on the field, you call a play. That references the playbook somewhere else.
It's an abstraction.
It is by definition an abstraction. Yes, it simplifies things. So yeah, I can't think of a reason why you would ever have a function definition inside of another function, and that includes event handlers. Event handlers stand alone, and function definitions stand alone. The event handlers call the functions. Yeah, you've got some refactoring to do, not to mention this is somebody else's work. It's not my work. It is the work of, I'd say it's code.org's property. Unless you add some significant functionality, like a timer and, I don't know, some other things. I don't want to do the whole project for you. But the idea of a color click game, not good. perhaps a simple math question here with 4 different answers, and you have to choose the correct one using that time thing. I don't know how to demonstrate a time functionality, a timer thing without it like starting from scratch on a new app, or because this, as it stands, this code needs to be refactored so much that I can't just plop a time function or a time functionality into it as it stands. So yeah, no. I don't want to see that one again. There we go. Okay. For the CT written response to mark with an O, I'm not sure where section 3 is. I don't know what section 3 is. Oh, section 3 is probably the code print, where 1 is the video, 2 is the written response, and 3 is the code print. So it's saying in the written response, that's when you copy and paste the code that you used as an oval from the code print, whatever you used as the oval, you copy that code into your written response. And whatever you used as the abstraction for the rectangle, you copy and paste that into the written response. I just need to see how long we can go today. Okay. And so, next question. There's 2 rows. Okay, so I'm debugging. Ooh, Mr. Rusi. Modules left in. Yeah, so Mr. Rusi, you could probably email this person, but
Yeah, they were in chat today.
oh, okay,
They're sending it to the wrong email address.
gotcha.
Um,
Hmm.
and we've talked about opening up Unit 5 probably every stream so far. I think we've talked about why we can't open Unit 5 until after we're done with the AP section, just because that's the way the functionality in code.org works. So same response as always.
Yeah, it would lock people out of their projects. So this is the one we just solved with the donut thing about rows 39 and something. I'm guessing the original one was fixed, and then I demonstrated how to solve the current problem, so that's the same thing. That's this right here. Okay, same thing from before. How long does the explore task take? I would say you could do a solid explore task in 2.5 hours once you have a good idea. If the idea is good. If the idea is good, the work will sort of do itself. Sort of. The path to success will be very clear. If you have a bad topic, the path to success may not exist, or may be very hard to find. That's what I would say. Yeah, Adam, thank you for your help, even though I didn't see it before then. Yeah, good call. That is also the correct answer. I'm guessing you had that in before I solved it. Okay, so just came up with this earlier, which I don't think, or I may have talked about it from way back, from the before times, that the topic for explore task makes all the difference. Half the work is coming up with a good topic. It needs to be okay. At this point, if you already think you've done the explore task, but it's not going to be the description that I tell you, you may want to change some things or change the focus. But the key is that it's about a computing innovation, meaning what people would call technology, even though technology is a much wider subject or topic than just electronics, but a computing innovation that is recent. One of the criteria is that at least one source, maybe all of them, no, I think just one, needs to be needs to have been published within since the last school year, so within a year. And so that means it needs to be an innovation that has either been invented or changed slightly within that time. And the easiest way to do that is to find something like search through tech magazines or websites, or think about what's going on with the news and start there. Um, an excellent example would be something related to the coronavirus. Everything you find about that will be a source that is less than a year old, I promise. Um, Something about the way that they. Ooh, here's a 10 out of 10 option. Um, Contact tracing. Boom, that project does itself. Okay. Um, you may want to start over with that as your idea. You may not. Um, that uses data and GPS and Bluetooth and um, stored and security. Oh God, security issues. See what I mean about topics being the key to success. Maybe the back when it was interesting or relevant, the website that had, and it'd be hard to find a screen picture of it now because I'm sure the entire map would be red. But back when it started, um, there was a very useful or interesting website that had each country or region or city had a red circle based on how many cases were confirmed, and um, the circle was, bigger, and it was a map, and how it collected data, did something with it, confirmed it, transported it, impact on society, economy, and culture. These are all things. Perhaps video conferencing is a good topic. That's something that's going on now. There has to have been some sort of innovation in the last year. There's obviously security issues. There was a whole thing about people popping into Zoom meetings because they weren't secured. Um, so that's a lot of good stuff. Is that you dancing around on the screen?
Yes, I like to dance.
Dance, dance, dance. So there is that. I don't know what else there that would like to be addressed today. Can you think of anything also relevant?
No, I think we're pretty good. I put a link in the chat a little while ago to the AP, like the official AP playlist where he explains algorithms and abstractions. It was in the chat earlier. Let me see if
I
I
got
can.
it. I got it.
And it should go directly to the starting point where he's discussing abstractions and all that stuff. I don't know if it's working properly or not. Um, but it yeah, it goes directly to applying algorithms and abstraction. It's his explanations, which is posted from AP or from College Board. Um, I think it's pretty clear and concise what they're asking for when you look at that video, because it's just essentially saying, an abstraction or an algorithm is just a line of code technically that does something. So Um, he goes in and explains it pretty well. And then there were a couple people asking about when to expect feedback on their turned in work. So,
We are
Mr.
not going to like actually give you
Well, I think the
literal
to make sure
feedback.
it's turned in the proper format, I guess is what they're asking.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
So the feedback will be whether or not it was submitted in the correct format of PDF and video, and whether it's the right size for the video and time length and that sort of thing. That's a definite check. Um, I suppose by Monday,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, you have way more
Tuesday's the
students than
deadline.
me. Maybe, yeah, we can look at.
I would say by Tuesday for sure, because Tuesday is the deadline to hand things in. Um, Possibly before. I guess we got to compare it to shoot. We got to compare it to a list. Make sure that a thing. Make sure that you are. Did I leave the class? No. Make sure that when you go to submit, you put a comment in here like, please check my formatting. And then we'll know that you are taking the AP
Yeah,
test and we can get back to you. But if you don't
I don't
put,
see anyone has done that in my class. So I'll
let's put that
I don't know if I
on.
can send a message out to everyone.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Private, I can send an email.
Can you do that straight from too many tabs?
Oh, you can add a class comment. I'll just add class comments. Yeah, okay. So there'll be a class comment explaining that.
Like in this part right here?
Yeah, that's
Or
what I'm
back on
following.
the.
No, on that one that we're
Oh,
looking
yeah,
at.
that's a. Yeah, that's not my class. Well, we'll see. Um, is there a new email? Let's check some emails. Hmm. Ew, that's interesting. um, so Noah, you sent an email to me? I don't see it. When did you send it? Oh, lots of questions here. When did these come in? They must have come in late yesterday. Okay, let's just fly through these. Um, so Noah, the point for that app or that feature of the app was to break the screen into a grid of 3 by 3. So 450 divided by 3 would give you 3 rows, and 320 divided by 3 would give you 3 columns, and using var row and var column together would give you a string of A1, A2, A3, all the way through C3, and then you'd check what the string was and give fill in info based on that that response. It's just a completely different or a different feature where the first feature was about once you know the fish and the season, you get returned a bait. This would be another feature that by choosing the depth of where you're fishing and the size of the fish that you want, or which fish you should be fishing for. That's all that was. Don't worry about 15, 16, 17. Just do the the projects, and you will be fine at this point. Um, Alex, just do like I said. Just focus on the you'll be fine.
I know, Mr. Holt, if you're all done, or if you don't need me at the moment, I gotta run out of here.
Okay.
If that's okay with you. I think we got pretty much everything done in terms of what we were going for today.
I swear I answered these people's questions. Yep. All right. So we'll go ahead and log off, and I'll respond to some emails coming up. And so what should I put in? I don't know, man. You gotta figure out what you understand um, and come up with some app that does that. All right, so we're gonna sign up for now, and I'll be on email for a little bit, and maybe later, and maybe this weekend. But we've given so much material and so many resources and so many examples that I don't know what another response, another email is gonna do. I suppose people that have no clue and have not watched anything are still sending me emails about whether or not they need to do the create task and explore task. Frustrating. Okay, but most people seem to be doing fine, so that's good. And we're going to call it there. Okay? Adios, Mr. DeRusi. And we will talk later. Okay?